All right, what the fuck is going on with Bitcoin again today? We keep asking the same question. It's funny. We had the SEC filings. Everyone in the NAND strapped their jetpack to their backs and got super excited. I came on and told you guys that every time there's an SEC ETF filing, things go bad for Bitcoin, and literally the cause to the minute for this dump that we saw today right here was that the SEC said that the filings for ETFs were inadequate. So whatever, we knew the news wasn't relevant in the first place, so obviously we didn't get duped by it. So shout out to those of you that are subscribed to this YouTube channel, smashing up the likes, taking advantage of all the beautiful content we're putting out. You saved yourself from this mess, and you didn't run into mistakes here. So that is absolutely beautiful. With serious traders here, obviously serious traders belong on serious platforms. You already know the deal. If you do want to trade on the same platforms I'm using, the links are down here in the description below. And BingX, I do have to highlight to you guys because it is phenomenal what they're offering you, is going to allow you to trade these markets without KYC. That means no pictures of yourself or your ID. Buy bet up to 30K in free trading money. We'll get back to that stuff later, but very cool. Check them out with the links in the description now if you are interested. What's going on, guys? What is going on with Bitcoin? Well, the first thing is that we're holding support really well. We had a swing failure pattern to the downside here. We tested the low. We actually swept the low over here, grabbed all of the liquidity, and now we're back in the range. So we're quite familiar with this. This is what Bitcoin does all the time. You know, we kind of set a high, sweep it, and then come back into the range. And when that happens, you know, you're basically, you know, you're just in an equilibrium again. This is the market testing for liquidity, grabbing it, coming back up. Testing for liquidity, grabbing it, coming back down. So that just puts us back into a situation where, I'm going to type it out this time, nothing has changed. We're still in the same place that we found ourselves at the very beginning, which is to say that if we zoom out, we are still forming a beautiful bit of consolidation at a strong area of resistance. 9 days consolidation here compared to 8 days previously. So it's getting tense now, ladies and gents. This is basically where we fumbled the bag last time. Are we going to do it again this time? Certainly possible. Again, we need to remind ourselves about what we're dealing with here. This is the $30,000 range. This is the most formidable area of resistance that Bitcoin has on this chart, this entire area right here. And so breaking into it is certainly going to be problematic. And we knew that from the very beginning. But we also know that if we're able to get a convincing breakout above these highs that we've set recently, then it should be a pretty easy ride, at least a couple $1,000s higher. So that to me is looking pretty good. I'm still in my Bitcoin long that I traded on Bybit. You guys are intimately familiar with this position because I can't shut up about it. Obviously, I'm super proud about it. And to me, that is looking pretty good. I still think that we are, definitely in the right setup to be trending higher overall, even if that means we form some pullbacks, because we know where the support is on this chart. We know that if we do drop down a little bit, we're only going to be capturing support most likely within a beautiful uptrend. And really all we did here was we formed a really nice second leg. This was the first leg. We formed a really nice second leg up within this uptrend. We formed a really nice and even better correction, 60-day, 2-month, 20% down correction here. Just checks every box for being perfect. And now we are consolidating at this high, getting ready to break out even higher. So to me, nothing has changed. We've just seen a bit of a weird doji candle. Obviously the market's being very irrational and weird, and that is happening as a result of the SEC news. Now, I do want to point out before I continue with the Bitcoin analysis that I've been very vocal to you guys about how I've been expecting Ethereum to catch up. And I've been telling you why. I've been telling you guys that based off what I've seen with the S&P 500, S&P 500 has been bullish for an incredibly long period of time now. Since March, we have been trending up very, very well. We really haven't even had a pullback, to be honest, within that time. And that's 107 days. Now, if we compare this to Bitcoin, since March, to be fair, we have been bullish, but not as much as the S&P 500. The S&P 500 has been way stronger than Bitcoin. And so my argument to you has been on this YouTube channel for a very long time has been that, we're seeing, people making money in these safe markets, these comparatively safe markets, S&P 500 and so on and so forth, NASDAQ index. And when you make money in a, safe environment, you're going to feel great. You're going to feel greedy. You're going to feel like you want to make even more money. And the result of your greed will be that you're going to take even more risk. You're going to feel like everything you touch turns to gold. And that's why you start taking more risk. And that's why money ends up in assets like Bitcoin after the big guys have their sunshine. That's why I was also telling you very, very vocally that that's why I'm expecting Ethereum to pump up and show a lot of strength as well. Because once Bitcoin has its sunshine, and it really did have its sunshine, right? We're clear about this. We're on the same page here. Within, basically a week, we're up by 25%. Ethereum didn't see that same move. See, Bitcoin has cleared its high. Bitcoin has done something very impressive. Ethereum's high is up here. Ethereum is still massively lagging behind in that sense. This high that Ethereum set was on the 16th of April. And if we look at Bitcoin at basically the same time, 14th of April, this is when Bitcoin topped out. So, and we've gone above that, and we've certainly matched that level. So Ethereum hasn't done that yet. And to me, that's why I was expecting Ethereum to rise up a little bit more. So we're starting to see this flip now. We're starting to see Ethereum gain a lot more strength against Bitcoin. I'm not going to talk to you more about this because I've actually actively been trading it. I've eaten a very small loss in Ethereum just now, and I'm getting ready to enter another trade on Ethereum, which VIPs have been aware of. Obviously, to me, this is just part of the process. You're going to lose a little bit of money to make the big money. That's how it's been. I'm very happy to eat 5-10% loss here and there or whatever in order to make the 400% that I pulled on Bitcoin right here on screen. This is just the name of the game. You pay for your winners, and it's just part of how it goes. And if you can't accept that kind of thing, then you really shouldn't be trading. You're just not mentally fit enough to do it. Obviously, no one's going to tell you that, but I will, because you're getting very grounded and realistic analysis, guys. Smash up those fucking likes if you do appreciate the kind of content that we're bringing to you on this YouTube channel. I've actually just published an extremely complex analysis video into VIP. VIPs, as you know, not only get all the insights on the trades I'm making, but also they get VIP exclusive specific videos. And that one is, to date, the most complex YouTube video I have ever made in my life, I think. Certainly like top 3 or top 2. And that has gone in VIP. So definitely do check that out, guys, if you haven't seen that already, if you are in there. So yeah, Ethereum's looking good. Bitcoin's dominance has also dropped down. This is the first major drop we've seen in Bitcoin's dominance for quite some time. And again, this is another testament to how, and I've been saying this for a really long time. When Bitcoin starts consolidating, when Bitcoin starts trading sideways at a high, that's where we start to expect altcoins to shine a little bit. So Matic, Cardano, these aren't huge moves, but these are certainly good moves nonetheless. And it's certainly better than Bitcoin. And that's the point. Bitcoin is losing its dominance, not because these altcoins are spectacular, but because relative to Bitcoin, these altcoins are definitely stronger today. Here's Pepe. Look at that. Absolutely phenomenal. So, this is, these are important things to be keeping in mind right now as we're progressing in the market. Clearly, if people are putting their money in altcoins, there is a, overarching bullish bias in this market. You're not going to take on additional risk. You're not going to take on additional altcoins and trade risky things if you don't feel like it's a safe environment to do so. So to me, that's telling me that, we do still have that kind of bullish bias here. And what I really like is that's not being reflected here on the 𝗓𝗡 dashboard in the long and short ratio yet. Even the fear and greed index is still at a really respectable level, all things considered. And granted, this hasn't even updated yet. It might actually be slightly lower when you see this data, in the next 4 hours, depending on when you watch this YouTube video. Last week, we had a reading of 65. We're pulling back. So, we're certainly, and I've been covering this with you quite a lot on this YouTube channel. We're certainly not looking bad from that perspective either, in my opinion here. And so that's nice to see. But there's also still a lot of shorts in the market. Retail traders are just always getting this shit wrong. And they're still majority short. We've got 0.9 longs for every short position. So that's really nice. I'm bullish here on this market. And retail traders are still bearish. So obviously I don't want to be trading the same side as them because they almost always lose money. So, that's useful for me to be seeing as well. The important thing to keep in mind is if you've got more short positions than longs, and if the price keeps on moving up, what happens? We understand how long squeezes work, right? Or short squeezes. If the price moves up here, imagine you've entered your short down here because, you're the guy that fed the liquidity to the whales. Unlucky you. And if that is you and you've entered your short here and the price starts going up here, you're going to panic, right? You're going to be like, shit, this was probably a bad position. I should probably be out, and how do you get out of a short position is you buy, right? I've covered this with you guys quite a few times. If you've opened a position, if you bought Bitcoin for the first time and you have a Bitcoin position open, the only way you can close that active position is by selling those Bitcoins you bought. It's the same thing when you short. When you go short, it's the same thing in reverse. When you go short, that means you're selling. The only way to close that active selling position is by buying back the contracts that you sold. So if this is complex for you, then you need to go back and study the basics a little bit more. But I'm not going to go into that now, because that would just be I'm not gonna bring the video down that to that particular explanation. But yeah, just go search up the functions of longing and shorting if you don't understand this. But yeah, in order to close a short position, you got to go long. And that's why I really like this setup. We still have the setup that, it's almost like, put it this way, it's almost like you're playing a video game, you're playing like Street Fighter or something, and you're charging your attack. Like the attack is charged right now. We haven't released the attack button. But it's charged up. We've got our fucking laser gun, and we've held the trigger down, and we're holding the trigger down for an incredibly long period of time, but we haven't released it. The laser hasn't been shot out yet. Weirdest analogies ever, but there you go. That's what you get on this YouTube channel. You already know the deal if you've been around for a while. That's what I'm promising you guys, is bad analogies and phenomenal analysis. That should be the tagline of this channel. So, we've got that, and I like that. Again, from this perspective, nothing has changed. We're still in a really good position where a lot of these shorts, majority of these positions are shorts. A lot of these shorts, in order to close, they are going to have to buy back, and that could trigger, what happens when you buy back, what happens when you close a short. You have to go long, and if you're buying back contracts, you're obviously going to be pushing the order book up. You're obviously going to be pushing the price up. So that's another thing which still stands in our favor. Now, the other beautiful thing that's happened is, because we've given this some time, you can really see with the one-day Ichimoku cloud, we've gotten a really nice bounce out of this cloud. That was clear for quite some time now. Basically, from the moment that we got up here, that was very clear. But what's also really nice now is if we look at the EMA ribbon on some of these larger timeframes, it's really catching up to us now. It's not going to be long until the price starts to kind of touch this EMA ribbon from what I'm seeing here. And on the 4-hour time frame, it's already kind of happened. It's already been supporting the price up. You can see that when the price fell into this ribbon, we were getting bounces. Now, look, these aren't big bounces, but these are bounces. This is showing us that our momentum is still supporting the current direction of price action. Similarly, if we look at the Ichimoku cloud, look at where we're getting these bounces from. We're still bouncing off really, really nice levels. Of course, this wasn't an exact hit, but, just look at the distance. It's 0.4% away. It's good enough. We're still bouncing off where we want to bounce off as well. So, we're forming good signs here. If we look at this on the hourly time frame, let's see what we're seeing here. Okay, we've actually lost the cloud here. So it's the 4-hour time frame which is most attractive, most interesting. And if we just kind of stay here over these next few days, this is going to potentially act as a bit of a trampoline, and then bam, send us a little bit higher. So it's getting pretty saucy now, guys. We had a big move up. We've corrected, and the reason this Ichimoku cloud indicator is so nice is that it kind of shows you after enough time correcting, whether that means we trade down or sideways. In this case, we're trading sideways. After enough time, we expect the market to kind of gather some strength back and then mount its next attack, right? Basically, all I'm saying here is that we're moving up and we're correcting. We're cooling off. We're getting ready to move up again. I'm just going a little bit more complex with the way I'm explaining this to you by showing you, the Ichimoku cloud is literally visualizing for us where that might happen, when that might happen even, which is absolutely beautiful. Really, really useful to be integrating this time-based analysis and price-based analysis at the same time, potentially showing us that we could be rallying on a little bit higher. So, again, what I was covering with you guys previously were some of the key levels that I think, Bitcoin could find as resistance, and it's all on this chart right here, and it's all very, very exciting. It still looks really good to me. This is a really nice big gap for the market to be jumping up by 10%. Really, really fun. And with a bit of leverage, this can turn into something very, very exciting. So I do want to stress again, just the amazing opportunities that are available to you. You have over $100,000 in bonuses available. I think the OKX bonuses, wow, you've got, just a matter of hours on the OKX bonus. It's probably already too late, depending on when you're watching this video, but you do have up to $60,000 in rewards. So go sign yourself up, and all you need to do is make a deposit of $50 or more in order to receive a mystery box. You're going to be getting up to 60K in rewards, which is absolutely crazy. And the other platforms here that I've listed for you, BingX, no KYC. So, great for people that are more privacy minded. It's amazing to have these options in the market. Bybit, again, up to 30K in free trading capital. Now, this is huge. This is the best offer because Bybit's also the best exchange in the space, in my opinion. And I'm not just saying that because I love these guys and I've been working with them for a while. I knew these guys were the best in the space before I even started to work with them. It's just where all the pro traders are. It's the only exchange that's relevant. If you are a pro trader, Binance obviously has a lot of big volume, but it's just not where the people who really know what they're doing tend to be. Binance's big advantage is that they're very popular. But Bybit is where I've been for an incredibly long period of time. And what they're doing is, depending on what you deposit and trade with when you sign up using my link down below, they're going to give you up to 30K in additional trading capital. And that is money that you can throw back into the market in any way you like. And any profits that you generate with the cash they give you, those profits are yours to keep. You can withdraw them. You can do whatever you like. So absolutely huge offer there. Well worth checking out. And with everything else available, you've got a lot to take advantage of. So definitely not something to ignore, I would say, especially with this kind of volatility that could be coming up, or whether we move up or down, it really doesn't matter. Just being prepared with all of these bonuses, having this capital ready to be deployed is a very, very powerful position to be in. So for me, resistance up here, 34.5. Why? It's simply because if we're just looking at where the majority of the price action kind of ends up, you can see it very clearly. When we break into this range, we're going all the way up, and then we're coming all the way back down, and then all the way up. But what we're not doing typically is we're not consolidating. Even when we are consolidating, it really helps to put this in perspective. From this candle to this high to clear this level took 3 days. I know it looks kind of messy and it looks like my analysis might not be perfect, but it still works really well. 3 days on this occasion here. On this occasion here, less than a day to go down and less than a day to go back up. So incredibly clear that when we get above this yellow line, typically the price just zips, just absolutely just catapults, right? If we're falling below this yellow line, it just drops like a stone down to at least this one. And then when we recover above this line, it just catapults higher, right? And we're seeing the same thing on very, very short time frames and even on slightly larger time frames. See, we're dropping down, and basically the next day we're already coming back up. So very, very important price level here. It took a little bit longer, but what is extremely clear, guys, is that if we are able to clear this yellow line with, a good amount of volume, with good confirmation and everything else, that it should be a really easy ride into the deeper into the mid 30K range. And it's actually something I was kind of reminding you guys about when the price was dumping down below 30K last year. I was telling you guys, look, I understand that this is scary, but you must visualize the market in terms of levels, not just price numbers. The levels in this market for me, for example, here on this chart are 25K, 31K, 34.5, 36.3. It's not about, there's 26K in between, 27K in between, 28K in between. If you look at that stuff, you're going to get caught up in it. You're going to get scared. It's scary to see Bitcoin go from 30 to 29 to 28 to 27 to 25 all the way down to 17K. That's scary. It's a lot easier to remind yourself that, okay, if we bounce off 17, the next real area where we're going to struggle at is 20. And if we get above 20, then the next area we're probably going to struggle at is 21.5. And if we get above that, the next level we're going to struggle at is 25, 24, whatever. When you visualize the market that way, I mean, you're visualizing it almost like your brain is in logarithmic scale, and it basically, what that means is you're no longer getting swept away, with the motions of the market. You're just understanding that, we have resistance. If we get above it, we probably go to the next area of resistance. When you look at it that way, it becomes a lot easier to not get swept away with everything, to be able to retain perspective and just not be scared about what's going on, when you start visualizing the market in that way, because, now you understand that if we break resistance, we're just going to go to the next one, so it's not as scary as like, oh, fuck, we've dropped down by like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. It's just basically, well, if we break this resistance here, then we might get up to the next one. The other really important thing to keep in mind, and I've recorded this video twice now because by the way, if any of you guys know how to fix this, my OBS just like stops recording just on its own. And obviously I don't know if it stopped recording, which is why the video had a jump cut just now. If any of you know how to fix that, please let me know. I'm on an M1 MacBook. No idea. I think I already did a software update. But anyway, back to the topic. The other thing I want you to keep in mind is these corrections. All right, we're forming corrections all the time. Here's another one right here. We're moving up, we're correcting. We're moving up, we're correcting. Here, we're moving up and we're correcting again. And, sometimes our corrections are sharp. Sometimes our corrections are slow and relatively sharp. And sometimes they're pretty short. Sometimes we have a correction like this where we move up, we correct for a short period of time, and then bam, we move up again. This is where I think we are right now. And you know, I still have every reason to believe that that would be the case, because, you know, we're still, you know, we're still in an uptrend. We're still doing really well. The other point I want to make to you guys is bear market rallies for Bitcoin are notoriously very strong. Here's an example that I want to give you. Many of you are obviously quite aware of this, is this bear market rally that we had in 2018, going into 2019. We moved up. Right now, we're up by 100%, which is the equivalent of this move right here. That's it. It's really not that much. This bear market rally went up by 4.4x, 340%, from 3K to 14K. We had a 4.4 times return from the low. That was a bear market rally. So, you know, now that we've done kind of the first 100% of this bear market rally, could this go higher? It certainly could. You know, we've done that before. It wouldn't be out of character for Bitcoin to move even higher. You know, and it doesn't mean that we're not in a, you know, it doesn't mean that we've changed market cycles or anything like that. You know, it just means that within the big bear market that we're in right now, we're forming a rally. Now, whether that rally turns into a bull market and a new spring and everything's beautiful and, you know, everyone's getting their hot models on yachts again and all that beautiful stuff, or if it just means that, you know, you're just going to have to put, you know, now you've been working in McDonald's, you're going to have to apply for Burger King too and start working 2 jobs at the same time. You know, I don't know what it means. I don't know if it means that the market is going to start trending down again, or if it means that we're in a big new spring in a bull market. And it doesn't matter to me because I'm not trading based off that stuff. You know, I'm only interested in the short-term moves. I want to make money now. You know, I want to make money in the long term, but I want to do that by trading in the short term, right? I want to trade the 4-hour, the 1 day, the 1 hour time frame, you know, not the 1 week, not the 1 month. So, you know, because that's more investing. That's why I don't ask those questions, because I don't care. I've got my Bitcoin investments and you know, I'm staying in them. That's how I've been for years, you know, and I'm okay with that. But, you know, in the meantime, I want to make even more Bitcoin by trading these markets in the short term. So for me, still looking like this move could very much be on the cards. So guys, that's what I wanted to cover with you today. I've been a little bit, you know, kind of off on the videos lately, but hopefully you've enjoyed this one. If you have, you know exactly what to do. Smash up the likes, tick the bell, do all of that good stuff. Check out the links to all of these exchanges down in the description below. You are getting a phenomenal amount of bonuses. And again, a very quick reminder, you have less than 4 hours, probably even like 3 hours or less by the time you watch this video for OKX. It's probably too late for you, but that is a lot of rewards. Definitely do check it out. You just got to deposit and start trading and you will be eligible for these rewards. Yeah, BingX, no KYC, but also access to traditional markets. You know, one of the things that I haven't spoken about much today is traditional finance. And, you know, if we look at where these markets are, you know, Tesla, always something that I'm quite interested by. Apple, though, has very clearly set a brand new all-time high. And you can actually trade Apple on BingX. Let me show you here. Take a look at this. You can actually trade Apple right here on BingX, which is just fucking crazy. You know, with leverage, with Bitcoin, without KYC. You know, I've never seen this level of flexibility anywhere. And you are, you know, you're getting so many options, which is really cool. So definitely do check it out with the link in the description down below. And Bybit for me always remains the best exchange in crypto, as far as I'm concerned, and they are giving you up to 30K in free money that you can trade with. So beautiful stuff there. If you have enjoyed this video, you know exactly what to do. Hit up the like, subscribe, click the bell, do all that good stuff. And with that, guys, I will be seeing you in the very next one. Cheers.